because lotus grow when it's in muddy waters. And I felt like at the time when we were starting to create this, there was some muddy waters, and it kind of just naturally fell into place of like, we're in muddy waters and we want to grow past this, and we're also going to be working with owners that might be in muddy waters, right? They might be dealing with a situation where they need to sell their business tomorrow. How do they get out of that? How can we help them get out of that? And so it just kind of naturally synced of like, hey, we're, here's our lotus, here's Prospera Ventures, and we want everyone to grow with us in some kind of nice way. Oops.
So what's your take on this, right? Talking about ChatGPT, and this is something I totally disagree with, right? So I guess a study is showing that, of course, you can have one study show one thing, another study the next day show something else. This study supposedly shows that since everyone's so reliant on ChatGPT, we're not using our brain to think anymore, right? We're so reliant on ChatGPT. Well, my argument, no, it's just a tool, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I think there are two ways to look at it. You can try and solely rely on the internet, Google, ChatGPT, Maps, right? And you can do it in a way that keeps you from learning, right? But then there's a way where you can really use it to push you forward 10 times faster. For me, I almost forget that it's there because I haven't really integrated it on my day-to-day aspect, like to the fullest. But I have been playing with it more. And I think it's really about what are you trying to get out of it, right? If I want it to prompt me to think deeper and to challenge me, works amazing, right? But if I just want it to solve a problem that I can probably, take a few minutes to really think through, then why am I using it, right? If I need it to write an email, like write an email. Okay, well here's my email. How can I make it better, right? And then really like challenge me to be better in a different way. And I say email because I do use it for email because I feel like, again, I'm trying to explain something and I want someone to really clearly understand what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. That's a give and take. I do think there are ways to use it where it's productive.
Like me, like I'm on LinkedIn a lot. I think on the worst waste of time when people on LinkedIn put down, like you see in the conversation LinkedIn, oh, don't use AI, the M-dash, we can tell you're not doing anything. Like, to me, it's a complete waste. Like, you wasting your time telling other people not to use AI.
Can I tell you?
I don't get it.
I saw something, I wish I knew. I don't know if it was someone that I'm connected to on LinkedIn or if it was a suggested post, but I saw something that said by 2050 that people are going to have almost AI personas, right? Because people are they're trying to create a character, right, in AI to understand themselves, right? I am this. I'm a business owner, right? I want to make this much amount next year. This is who I am in my life. These are decisions that I've made, right? Now, I'm going to bring you a situation and I need you to help me think through it, right? You almost have the second persona, and this post said that by 2050, people are going to have multiple like avatars or personas that actually the job that people are going to want, the younger generation right now, is going to be like an AI persona therapist of sorts. And I was like, hold on, what? You mean I'm going to get confused with who is the real me and who did I develop in this bot?
I mean, think about it. It's kind of happened already because, like, if you're a kid, right, you have a persona on Instagram, on a TikTok, because you do different things. Yeah, like different, And like me, I communicate with older people in my family on Facebook, kids and nephews on like TikTok, so each one is like a different persona, I think, right? But I definitely see that coming, yeah.
It's crazy, and it makes you wonder, it makes you think, like, what is the next, tech boom, right? We hit the internet, we're hitting AI, we're hitting crypto. There's going to be another one, there's going to be multiple more, and it's about, how do you use it so that it doesn't necessarily take advantage of you, but that you can hopefully use it and optimize what you're already doing and existing. Yeah, super.
I mean, supposedly in Japan, all the men are getting like AI robot girlfriends,
I mean, we get lonely. People get lonely, right?
Yeah.
I can only imagine, right? And especially with COVID. With COVID, people were stuck at home. If you didn't live with your family, what'd you do? Watch TV, talk to AI? Like,
it's insanity right now. So talk about how you empower business owners.
Different ways. It's one of those things. We have a partner, a friend that always says it depends. It depends, and it really does depend, unfortunately, right? Because I think it's around who are they What are they working with? What are their challenges, right? Do they need someone to say, hey, you can do this? Or do they need someone to say, hey, you're taking on too much? And evaluating their circumstance. It's almost like, if any consultants out there, right? How do you go about consulting? Well, you need to understand. You have to ask questions and say, hey, where are you at? Where are you lacking? Do you need more marketing? Are you utilizing marketing? And there are different ways where I'm actually working with someone right now where they feel like they're in a bind. They're like, I really want to grow, but I only have so many funds to put to this, right? And right now it's not his full-time job. He's an owner, it's his side gig, but he's like, I really want to grow and I don't know if I have all the resources. Great, how can we get those resources? How can I empower you to find those resources? Do I have resources? Can I connect you to the right people? Because there's a gap that needs to be filled, right? In order for you to really make the sales worth it and to spend that next dollar, okay, do we need to go get you more sales? Is it a marketing thing? And so trying to find what that gap is, what that pain point is, to say, okay, if it's a money thing, how can we find a small short-term loan? Do you have savings? Do I know somebody else who knows a different tactic? And really just connecting them to the right people. And if I don't know, then finding somebody who does. And really empowering them to have that conversation and be open to those ideas.
So, two-part question. Part one is like, how many companies are you dealing with right now, in any kind of way you want to define dealing with, and what's like your limit? What's the most amount of number of companies you could actually handle?
Yeah, so I think there's probably 4 or 5 that are just in the acquisition space where we're having conversations. Maybe we're putting in an offer. We are in due diligence. So acquisitions stay at about 5. Then on the consulting side, there's like 2 or 3 that are back and forth, not like full-time taking up, our day and space, but about 3 of them that are, hey, let's touch base. Hey, where are you at? Hey, what do you need? Is there anything, you need support on? So I think total would be about 8. Capacity wise, I think it depends on the in-depth. So I would we would only want to do up to 5 in the offer and due diligence stage, because once you get to a certain point, like it's all hands on deck. It's everyone's like, let's double check the numbers, let's look at the ops, let's look at some KPIs. So 5 is probably like the max right now. On the consulting side, I would say we could probably go up to 5 or 6, and it really will just depend what's needed, right? If they're needing full-time management, it would probably be closer to 1 or 2. If it's something where it's like, hey, we're maybe more advising the operation flow, sales and marketing, maybe some brand, then that easily we can do 5 or 6.
And how do you decide what companies to deal with? Is like based on revenue, AR, MMR, industry? Like, how do you decide that?
In terms of who we work with? Yeah. So consulting wise, we'll work with anybody. From a business standpoint, like we do own a retail shop. We're partners in a retail shop. And then one is like a product itself. Industry wise, it can go anywhere.
Is there any industry you don't deal with?
We don't like restaurants. Usually we wouldn't even do retail. The only reason we're doing retail is because it's such an opportunity for us to more mentor the main owner for that business, and because again we want to empower people to build their own net worth, build their own communities. We were like, hey, we see a lot in you as an owner, so we're small owner in that one, to really lift this mentee up to really own being an owner. Industry wise, on the acquisition though, we have been focusing a lot on the supply chain side of things. So we were deep in the startup for moving food products specifically, around the globe. And so for that, anything that was manufacturing, transportation, warehousing, that's kind of how we got into the aviation space, was like, you can move product on a plane, imagine that. So anything to move product, house product, or make product, we had been looking at. Now, and I'm actually this is like perfect timing for this podcast and for anyone to know, we have niched all the way down to food manufacturing. So Spencer's working as a like fractional CEO over at Sunday Supper, which is a startup food company. And him working there has really taken a focus on our food knowledge. So we're like, we know food, we already know the systems, we know the players, we know how to move it. Let's just focus on that. So for us right now, we're actually doing a pretty big roll up in the food manufacturing space. And that's really exciting because it's food. You can't go wrong with
So
food.
let's pivot to when you was the supply chain director for Good Planet Foods.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that, what you did there.
Oh man, at the very beginning, so I was part of the founding
And
team.
Good Planet Foods is like a restaurant or tech company. What is Good Planet Foods?
So Good Planet Foods is a plant-based food company. Their focus at the very beginning was plant-based cheese. So they made a coconut oil cheese product, mozzarella, cheddar, smoked Gouda, really good stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, this just sounds like so evil, like so like it just seems like so like, are you kidding me, right? Like
So
no.
you can almost call it tech, right? You have
Yeah.
to have the R&D technology behind the door. But yeah, no, we were making plant-based cheese.
This sounds so wrong.
It was really good though because Spencer and I are lactose intolerant.
Oh, okay,
So-
that makes sense. Okay.
So how I got into Good Planet, it was actually at,
And they're located here in Seattle.
they are headquartered here, but all our product now was made in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, of course it is.
Cheese country.
Yeah.
But I went to a show with Spencer. Originally, I was supposed to see family, and they had the show going on. I was like, let me just help. I brought some nice clothes. I'll go help you guys at the booth. And I'm sitting there trying the grilled cheese, and I was like, there's no way. This is real cheese. Like, this is a joke. And they're like, no, it's not. I ate so many grilled cheese that day, partially because I was making them, and if it gets cold,
Yeah.
you don't feed that to people walking by for samples, right? So, okay, I'll eat it. That's how I got into it. It was literally 3 or 4 people at the beginning of the company, and I just kept showing up. To be honest, I didn't necessarily love my current job. I was working as a supervisor at the Lifetime Cafe in Bellevue, and they were across the freeway. So I was dating Spencer. He was working there, so I kept going over to see him, but nonchalantly I was also like, do you guys need help? Do you want me to make some samples? Do you have stuff to go out? Like, what do you need? I'm happy to help. I did that for like a full month before they were finally like, okay, we should probably hire her. But it was a hard decision because we were still fairly early in our relationship. We hadn't been together for 2 years or anything crazy.